Welcome to the Success Sensei Podcast for anyone interested in success, happiness, and balance. We'll teach you how to be a black belt at life. And now, your host, former professional fighter, multiple world champion, entrepreneur, and investor, Robert Devan.
Bowing in. This is Robert Devan, the Success Sensei, helping you to win at life one kick and punch at a time. Episode 307. Change your goals or don't change your life.
It's the Success Sensei Podcast main event.
Change your goals or don't change your life. So yes, this episode is about goals and it's about change and embracing change. It's not a coincidence, the timing of this episode about goals. We're close to Christmas now at this stage. Is it cold enough for you outside? It's flipping freezing. And it's a great time to start thinking about 2023. I know it might be early. I know some people don't think about 2023 until New Year's Eve hits. But really, Christmas time, whatever you think about Christmas, a lot of people that don't like Christmas, and I would urge you to enjoy it and make it your own, because it's going to come around every year, whether you like it or not. And you can make it personal to you. You can make your own traditions. You can do whatever it is that you want, but it should be a celebration of getting through the year, surviving the year, still being alive, still being here, and getting ready for the new year. And New Year's Eve happens so fast that you're suddenly in 2023, and you can be unprepared if you're not setting out your goals and planning what it is. If you're just reacting, you're not going to have the same opportunity as somebody who is planning. Somebody who is planning can obviously have the goals that are planned, and then they can also react to certain things as well. But if you don't have any set goals, all you have is the opportunistic goals that come your way instead of having both. So that brings me on to there's two types of people. People who don't write goals and people who write goals, but they need to change them up. Now, I've gone through this process myself and I'll continue to change them up. And this is the bit that I'm really trying to get to you. There's going to be a lot of podcasts, going to be a lot of episodes. There's going to be a lot of talks about goal setting this time of year, and especially over the next few weeks. It's the change bit that is the most challenging and the one that I want to reiterate the most. So starting off from this point of view, which you may find harsh until I explain a little bit, but you are where you're at based on who you are and how you think. You are where you're at based on who you are and how you think. So your life has worked out to the point that you're at right now, the positive and the negative, based on all of the decisions you've made and the decisions you haven't made. Now, as I said, that might seem very harsh, especially if you're very unhappy or even just generally unhappy with certain things. But even still, even if you find it hard to agree with that statement, you must admit that if you had thought or acted or responded differently in certain scenarios, you could have enjoyed a different outcome. So you have to agree with that. So even if you're not willing to say certain bad situations or certain negative things that happen to you are a result of you, and I can absolutely understand that emotional block, but you have to admit that there are other options of how to act or respond differently in order to get different results. And that's what we're talking about with your goals. Now, we are absolutely not talking about deviating from your authentic self. The change that we're talking about is not saying to be someone you're not. It's basically saying, be the best, bring out the best version of yourself. So many people are resistant to change. It's human nature. We want to settle. We're designed to settle. We're designed to seek comfort and to avoid hardship, avoid, problems, avoid. And the thing about change is it's going to bring tests, and you have to embrace that. If you can fall in love with achievement, then, and if you want to achieve more, then you're going to have to fall in love with positive change. Maybe I should call it positive change instead of just change, because there's so many negative connotations to change, especially when it comes to changing how you think. So we're not saying change your religious beliefs. We're not saying change your political beliefs. We're not saying change any of your values at all. What we are saying, change yourself to the point where more often it's the best version of yourself that shows up. More often, are you confident in your communication to the point that you know it's getting the best results, and it's for the best reasons. So we are talking about changing mindset, changing physical ability, and that is obviously the Holy Trinity: exercise, food, sleep. So that was changing mindset, changing physical ability, changing skills, changing your network. And that is, network is one of those, I think it's a very cold term. We're talking about friends, and it is a two-way thing. You have to bring value to their lives. They have to bring value to your life as well. And the more people and the more friends you have, the more successful you're going to be, the happier you're going to be, and the more love that's going to be in your life, especially if it's that two-way relationship that I'm talking about, and changing your routines. So you can improve your mindset, you can improve your physical ability, you can improve your skills or add to your skills, you can improve your network, your relationships with people, and you can improve the routines in your life. None of that is fundamentally changing who you are as a person or any of your beliefs. The mindset, it's just consistently not giving into negative mindset, consistently surrounding yourself with positive input and positive information so that you can be more positive. Not a fake positive, a true to yourself positivity. Now, how do you do all of these things? Well, the first thing you're going to have to do is, whether you have your goals already or whether you don't have your goals, I would recommend that you write. Writing your goals is the best version of goal setting. Yes, you can do them on the computer. Yes, you can record them audibly for yourself. But writing is, and you can do all of those things as long as you are actually writing your goals, because the process of writing is the strongest way to do your goals, because you're reading them to yourself, you're listening to them yourself, it's visual, and you're accessing different parts of your brain that you use if you're simply typing it on a computer, or if you're listening to it. So do all of those things, read them, but absolutely write them. So some people believe in, when they're doing their daily review, which is the next point, write. And the next thing is review daily. Some people like to write them out daily. I personally don't do that because I think it's a bit of work. I like to read them daily. And what happens if life gets in the way? I don't read them daily, then I'll do it every second day. What happens if a week was extremely busy? Then I'll do it weekly. My aim is to review them daily. You might have them on the top of your mind, and that's fine. You can recite them daily. You need to get a routine, which we talked about, improving your routine, a routine that suits you, whatever way is helping you, and constantly review that routine. So the first one is write your goals, actually physically write them. The second one was review them daily. Then, when you've reviewed daily to remind yourself of what it is you're supposed to be doing each day, and giving yourself the motivation to carry on and your reason why you're doing what you're doing, the next point is adjust. You need to adjust. So that means you can add goals, you can remove goals, you can break those goals down into smaller goals, or you can extend the time frame. So with the adjust, you need to see what's working, and you need to fix what isn't working. And not necessarily fix, it may not be broken. You might just have changed your goal, changed your mind. You might have varied it or pivoted to something else. It might be too overwhelming a goal, so you need to break it down into smaller actionable steps. Or the time frame, your time frame is off. Or, your goals, some certain goals, if they're too reliant on other people, you may have to extend the time frame. So then the fourth point I have for you is you need to keep a tally. So what happens is, when you've set out your goals and you achieve certain goals, those goals get removed from the list, crossed out, ticked off, whatever, And you forget that you've done them. You forget that you've achieved these things, and then you're constantly looking at all the things that you haven't achieved. So it is important to have a little note or notebook or whatever way you want to record it, and keep a tally of the large goals that you've achieved and any bonus goals that you've achieved, any extra goals that we were talking about earlier on, your opportunistic goals. There'll be many of those will crop up day to day, week, month, throughout the year that you hadn't anticipated and you hadn't accounted for, you hadn't written in as an actual goal. There's many things that will happen that are achievements. So make sure that you keep a tally of those as well as your main goals. So those 4 points are: write your goals out, review them daily, review them regularly, adjust them where needed, and keep a tally of your goals and of your achievements. Now, you need to look at things differently. You might be somebody that does this on a regular basis. And if you do it every year, year on year, well, what I'm suggesting is maybe the process is a little bit stale. Maybe your goals are a little bit stale. Maybe you need to look at things differently. We all need to look at things differently. Whether we've been doing goals regularly or whether we haven't been doing goals regularly, as soon as you have them on that piece of paper, you need to start tweaking and looking and really thinking about them, stepping outside yourself and looking at them. Put yourself in, if you could imagine you were your own perfect mentor, your own perfect advisor. Step out of yourself and imagine yourself as an advisor to yourself. Then have a look at those goals and see if you can change them. See if some of them are too small. See if some of them your subconscious thinks that they're not realistic and they're too big. But really challenge yourself to change your mindset. So many people are stuck in post-COVID lethargy, and they're waiting to see what's happening. No, don't be waiting to see what's going on. Is the economy crashing? What's happening next? What crisis is next? You don't want to waste any more time doing that, because for a long time, your options were heavily restricted. For the last couple of years, your freedoms were restricted. So if you don't move now, then when is it going to happen? Make 2023 your year. 12 months from now, you could be in a totally different position. You could have vastly improved your position. You can't calculate the positive consequences that will occur from even small positive action steps that you could take. So I would urge you, don't keep leaving it. You will have a bit of time over Christmas, I hope, to set out your goals or to review your goals or to have a look at them. Look at them through different eyes. Try to change them up. Try to do things differently. Don't let anything be stale. This is your time to move. This is your time to strike. This is your time to think big. This is not your time. We're not in a lockdown. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. We don't know if there's going to be any more restrictions. But right now, there's none. So right now, there's nothing holding you back. Don't be overly consuming news. Don't be waiting. Don't be sitting back. Now is the time. I would absolutely love to hear from you at the end of 2023 to hear how your year has been and how excited you are to improve on the process for next year. So message me anytime and I look forward to it. Thank you for listening. I'm Robert Van, the Success Sensei. Life is a fight you can enjoy and win. Bowing out.
This has been the Success Sensei, fighting the winning fight. So add us, subscribe, like, and comment. Keep those hands up and keep moving forward.